rest and blind my eyes so I can fall asleep tonight or die because you killed me. No, you don't. You kill me well, like I do, and I can tell.
Start going full pale face on it.
There's something to tell, but my breath is gone.
You know what I'm saying? I got really hyped up today. I was doing some vocal tracking. Like I was just because I get the itch every so often to go do some songs.
Yeah.
And I was doing Reincarnate by Motionless in White.
Yeah.
And so I'm like kind of vibing, like, and I did the chorus, and then like there's that kind of there's like that second verse where he kind of like, it's not really super fast, but I was realizing that I was like, I'm doing vocals really fast. And I couldn't figure out why I kept doing it really fast. It's because minutes prior to that, I was doing Paleface.
Oh.
And I was just like, it's just words. Like, it's not even like, can you understand anything? It was hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
But that'll be cool. Oh, hey.
Hi.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Fred Stewart. Welcome to Haunts, Graves, and Omens. With me, as always, except for the one time, and then there's gonna be probably another time, is my lovely co-host Taylor Shulman.
It's me. Hello. How's it going?
It's going pretty good.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm so tired. We always do this after I work, and I'm like dying.
It do be like that. But that's a pod life for you.
Yeah.
All right. We usually do this the day before, you know?
Yeah.
But we don't.
We've just kind of been pushing it.
Yeah. This episode gets recorded, and then it comes out the next day.
We're doing great.
We're doing something is what we're doing.
It's definitely.
See, look, the set's not even done. Look at that. Fixing
I
it.
tried.
Bit of a professional podcast here. I have a couple of news stories to talk about this week. I have quite the story, and I don't know if you're going to be ready for this.
Oh, boy.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So, listen, I get it. Work's a drag sometimes,
Yeah.
you know, and, you know, sometimes you're just having a hard week, and you kind of forget stuff. Right? It happens to the best of us. You know, you just get so overloaded with work that you kind of forget to check on something you're supposed to check on. And that was the case in Arizona, where a woman working for Wells Fargo was found at her desk 4 days after she had died.
I saw that.
Yeah. So
I heard about that.
Yeah, so Denise Prudhomme, 60, last clocked in at Wells Fargo in Tempe, Arizona at 7 a.m. on August 16. The Tempe Police Department confirmed to USA Today on Thursday that she was found at a third-floor desk on August 20th, leading on-site security to call police. Firefighters responded and pronounced her dead on scene at 4:55 p.m. That basically you're saying there's no obvious signs of foul play, but sat at her desk for 4 days in an office. Pretty gnarly.
That's fucking wild to me.
It is absolutely insane. How no one, like, because the reason it happened, or not happened, but the reason they called is because somebody reported a foul smelling odor coming through the door, and they believed it to be the plumbing.
Yeah.
It wasn't the plumbing, it was decomposition. So, pretty gnarly. And there's also a news story that I was going to bring up, but it hasn't even developed yet, because I don't know if it's even going to be HGO worthy or relevant, but we had a plane crash today, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was,
out here in Portland. It came out of Troutdale, Portland airport, and fucked everything up. It's crazy.
It was a little Cessna biplane.
Yeah, Cessna biplane?
It was some sort of little plane. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't fucking.
You're activating my tism.
I know.
Tay, you have a story.
I just found this story. These people.
Yes.
They did their best. They saw an injured bald eagle, so we're gonna go take it to our wildlife center. Turns out, injured bald eagle at a Missouri National Park was actually just too fat to fly.
Now, if there was ever a metaphor for America, it would be a bald eagle that was too fat to fly. That's awesome.
Yeah, they rescued him from a national park. And And he was just found, instead of being injured, just merely too fat to fly after eating a bit too much raccoon. And he's good. He's fine. He just ate a lot of roadkill.
I would say that bald eagle is a hero in my eyes.
He's been rehabilitated.
That's great. But I have an actual hero that I want to talk about, and I was telling you about it the other day. And it's a story that oftentimes we come with news stories and we joke and we laugh, and it's very goofy. But this one is truthfully of an individual who is an actual hero in my eyes, and I'd say the general public's eyes and everybody's eyes. Sean Johnson, he was. He acted without hesitation last Sunday when he scrambled down the rocky shoreline and jumped into the ocean at Yacht State Park to help a woman and her 2 young sons who were struggling against the current. The selfless act of courage ultimately costed his life, but his actions are no surprise by everyone that knew him. He was known as just a sweet man, and would help people carry their groceries or do yard work or play guitar in front of the post office. He was homeless, living on the beach out here in Oregon. But yeah, he basically just heeded all warnings and went in and helped save this woman and her 2 children before he himself was succumbed to the waves. And I'm gonna try to see if I can find some sort of like GoFundMe for his family or something like that, because I really want to throw that in the description, because the dude's a fucking hero, dude. That's insane. What a guy. And may he rest in peace. But speaking of resting in peace, we have an episode for you today, and that is quite interesting.
I thought you were just going to leave it at, we have an episode for you today.
We have an episode for you. Thanks so much for joining us on Hots, Craze, and Omens.
That was it?
That was it. That's the entire episode, and it's over. It's done. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, Taylor's going to be running cameras today, and I'm going to be telling you a story of ghosts and ghouls alike.
I'm excited.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
There are 5 levels to our earthly plane: heaven, the earth, purgatory, hell, and Ohio. I'm kidding. Kind of. Heaven doesn't exist. So
man, now no one from Ohio is gonna listen.
Yeah, well, that was a given. This week we traveled to Ohio begrudgingly. Kidding.
Honestly, I'd go to Ohio.
There's some places on this list that were gonna make me want to go to Ohio. And believe me, I'm fucking pretty jazzed up about it when we get to it.
They have some pretty big music festivals out there too.
They have some big music festivals, but we're traveling to Ohio for one specific reason: ghosts.
Oh.
Welcome to Ohio's most haunted. Yeah, man, we're here.
I didn't even get to do my bit.
What's your bit? Go ahead.
You were saying we're traveling to Ohio for one reason, and I was in the middle of saying corn dogs, and then you interrupted me, and it just...
Is Ohio known for corn dogs?
I don't know.
It seems like a very corn dog heavy state. Like it just... you said that, and I don't know if that's true, but it doesn't feel wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just anything covered in batter and deep fried just screams Ohio to me for some reason.
It screams like Midwest.
Yeah. So. Well, yeah. It's...
So...
I saw a chart the other day of average weight for each state.
Yeah.
Midwest was dark blue. It was heavy side, and I was like, well, it's good when when it's freezing outside and it's snowing. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna be at home eating 40 to 50 fucking mini corn dogs, dude. That's what you have to do to survive. All right.
It's just how it is.
I want to survive. Don't you want to survive?
Great.
Fired up today.
I see that.
Yes. Now, Tay, are you ready to get into it?
I'm so ready.
Okay. I'll switch cameras. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Usually I'm on it. I'm tired. I'm working.
Usually, I switch the cameras even when I'm not doing it.
I do my best.
Now, for real this time. Our first stop is in Mansfield, Ohio. Built in 1862, the Ohio State Reformatory was originally used as a training camp for soldiers during the Civil War. By 1896, the building became what we know it as today. It ended up turning into a prison.
Yeah.
But with any prison, it is bound to have a few lost souls. Over 200 people died within the walls of the Ohio State Reformatory. Murders, suicides, riots, attempted escapes, and from the main reason why the reformatory is closed, overcrowdedness and inhumane conditions. This place was a fucking nightmare. Like any prison that we've talked about when we do most haunted episodes.
Yeah.
Just septic issues, fucking food health safety issues. Oh, the overcrowdedness, just the disease. I mean, everything.
Yeah.
Was not a super fun place to hang out.
I'm going to go on a limb.
Yeah.
This might be controversial. I don't think prison is anywhere like a good place to hang out anywhere.
Oh, some prisons might be kind of cool. Like, you ever seen like those Finnish, like Danish prisons? You ever seen those?
No.
They're super cool. Yeah, they're like little apartments, and they have like a desk and like they get like a laptop and shit, and they just fucking.
I'm talking
they play
about.
They play like Roblox and.
I'm just talking strictly in the U.S.
Oh yeah, no.
Like, I'm gonna pass.
Yeah, listen, probably not great, right?
The U.S. does not have a great track record with prisons.
It's pretty controversial too. I think they're doing okay. At killing people and doing a bad job. Am I right?
They're doing a great job at doing a bad job.
Up top. Nice.
Yeah.
So the building is still open and active to this day for tours and, just like historical tours and everything like that. There's a lot going on here in events. But it's also active in a different kind of way. Guests and staff on tours report hearing the sounds of doors slamming shut by themselves and the sounds of shrieking people.
Oh.
Souls of the former residents, I suppose. On top of the audible occurrences, many have reported being touched and grabbed by unseen hands, seeing shadow manifestations, and full-body apparitions inside the reformatory. Needless to say, the bodies of the prisoners may be gone, but for some reason, something or someone still remains.
I'm not surprised.
Would you go on a tour?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would too. I find prison tours really fascinating, especially haunted prison tours, fascinating, because you do a lot of historical tours of ghosts and stuff, and they're like, the families lived here, and now their spirits haunt the place, and there's some sort of entity. But, like, this is a place for fucking people who are like, oh, old Jim cut a dude's face off and fucking ate it in this room.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on in.
So, like, on the topic of, like, touring haunted prisons, would you ever go tour Alcatraz?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
My mom has been to Alcatraz. Not as a prisoner.
Oh,
but
well, not yet.
But
one guest accommodation. You get the room with the hole in the ceiling. Yeah.
But she had some weird shit happen there.
Yeah, there was a TikTok page that I found fucking forever ago that was pretty quickly shut down. But it was a guy who was a security guard in Alcatraz.
Oh, yeah.
And he was posting videos of shit that were, I was like, I wish I would have had the hindsight to fucking save him, because he was like at a guard shack and he was filming, you'd zoom in and it was like a full-bodied smoke apparition and it fucking disappears.
Yeah.
And he just posted on TikTok and he's like, I gotta go over there. And then he like goes over there and he's like, take this flashlight, and there's nothing. But like, we all saw it.
Yeah.
Like it was just fascinating.
My mom had an incident in Al Capone's cell, which is not a great spot.
He'd do like the old Italian, like, oh God, look at you, Look at you. You know?
I'll have to have her tell you this story because it's fucking wild. I
Yeah.
can't remember all the details, but if you ask her about it, she will go on a tangent about it.
Maybe we'll do something for our wedding where we'll have a little booth set up and have people tell us their ghost stories. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
For our next location, we head to Mason, Ohio, a location unlike anything that we've ever covered. I'm definitely about to sneeze, and I do apologize.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for talking. You got to talk over it, and thanks for cutting to a wide instead of a close-up for you. That's exactly what you should do. Cut to a wide so everyone can see my shame on camera. That's what I love. Anyways, we're going to travel to a location unlike anything that we've covered before. We've never covered a place like this, at least to my relative memory, like this.
Okay.
Located at 6300 Kings Island Drive, the Kings Island Amusement Park is quite the place.
Ooh.
Founded in 1964, Kings Island has shape-shifted over the years, starting with the old classic wooden coasters to the more modern ones that we know today. A place to relax, have fun, and test your will and skill on rides such as Flight of Fear, Banshee, and Boo Blasters on Boo Hill.
Ooh.
Cute.
That's where I'm going.
It's very cute. I was looking it up because, you know, one of my fucking things is I love roller coasters.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, that's really cool. So I was reading about it, and that like Flight of Fear is like a giant UFO. It's like one of those like Gravitron things.
Oh, that's
Banshee
cool.
is a roller coaster, modern style, and then Blaster Blue Hill is like a family friendly ride. It's like a dark ride, and it's a whole thing. But it's very cute. All these rides I would go on. Like there was not really a ride that I was like I wouldn't go on that except for one, which we'll talk about.
The only thing I won't do are wooden coasters.
I used to be freaked out at wooden coasters. Not anymore. Listen, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die on a roller coaster.
My dad and my stepbrother went on the like fucking oldest wooden roller coaster or whatever in fucking Pennsylvania. Fucking. They said it was the sketchiest thing they've ever done.
Yeah, because a lot of modern roller coasters are very smooth and they kind of flow, but older coasters like, and like
you're struggling the entire time.
Back then, listen, you weren't expected to live very long, so it was just it was one of those things. But they're like, you want to put the fear of God into you.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But one thing that is unusual about Kings Island that I find very strange is the amount of injuries and deaths associated to this place.
Oh.
There is a lot. All of which I got online, so if Kings Island jokes come after me, I found it online. I read about it. I pulled up news stories and stuff like that. So fucking kisses. But let's go over a couple, shall we?
Yeah.
On August 5th, 1989, 39-year-old man was killed in the parking lot after being struck by lightning. Which is fucking insane. On June 9th, 1991, a park employee and guest who were trying to help another guest who had fallen into a pond were electrocuted by a water circulation pump.
Oh shit.
There is a two of those three men did die.
Oh yeah.
There is actually another death attributed to that, allegedly.
Oh.
And we'll talk about it in a moment.
Yeah.
On Friday the 13th, 1983, a 17-year-old boy attending graduation party with his classmates fell 200 feet to his death down the elevator shaft of the Eiffel Tower after he had climbed a large fence onto an emergency stairwell and then onto the shaft for some unknown reason. He was struck by the elevator's counterweight and became tangled in the cables.
Oh my god.
Then, when the elevator, when the elevator at the bottom started back up, he fell to his death.
Oh shit.
Fucking brutal.
That's so brutal.
It brutal way to die. And then more recently, on June 19th, 2024, when a 38-year-old man who was in the restricted area beneath the Banshee coaster was attempting to retrieve his keys, he was struck by the coaster traveling at 68 miles an hour, and he promptly died about 3 to 4 days later.
Shit.
That is literally, when I say this, literally the tip of the iceberg. There was I could have probably done a whole episode about it. There was
so weird.
So fucking many.
What?
injuries, death, injury. It just was all over the place. I mean, you got to think this place has been open for a long time.
Yeah.
It's been open for almost 100 years. But
Yeah.
it's just it's fucking astounding how many injuries and deaths are in this place.
I'm kind of surprised our own amusement park has not really had like.
Yeah, other than recently.
Okay,
when
but
it got
no
stuck
one
upside
died.
down. Yeah.
No one died.
Yeah.
It got stuck upside down, but no one died.
Yeah.
Also, did you read that they were like, there was no mechanical error, there was no operator error,
Yeah.
there was no error, and it's like
It was stuck upside down.
It was stuck upside down for half an hour, but there was no error.
There was a fat bird nest on top of the ride, and they were stuck upside down.
I like that ride, but I don't know if I'll go on it again.
No, fuck that.
That's the one with the wasp's nest.
Yeah.
Like-
I have. I think I told it on the doc. I'm sure I have, but there are so many more instances of injuries and death at this park. But we're here to talk about ghosts, and honestly, even with all this weird fucking like shit that's happened at Kings Island,
Yeah,
I'd probably still go. Like,
that's fair.
it's
I'd go.
it's a fucking cool place. It's a cool place.
Yeah.
And even with all the shit that's happening there, they're still fucking open. They're still doing shit. Like, a lot of this stuff is not of their own doing. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like
it's nothing that they could have prevented, sort of.
the electrocution one.
Yeah.
How the fuck are you gonna know that a pump underwater is shorting out? There's no way you're gonna know
You're not
until
gonna
it just
know.
happens.
Yeah.
The guy falling down the Eiffel Tower. He did that because he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
The man grabbing his own keys, rest his soul, but fucking call somebody. You go to park staff and be like, they'll be like, hey, shut down the ride for fucking 5 seconds, and then they shut down the ride for 5 seconds. Someone goes up, here's your keys, and that's it.
Yeah.
I've heard stories of like this 100 times of people just doing ridiculous things, and then they fucking get killed, and then it's like, what are you doing? And then the lightning is just bad luck. But
being struck by lightning, I think, is up there in like things that I absolutely fucking hate, do not like, would rather not happen.
what, get struck by lightning?
Yeah. It
yeah.
seems fucking awful.
Well, I mean, from everyone that survived getting struck by lightning, it's pretty quick. It's just, and then that's it.
Yeah,
Lights out. So
I just
I don't care about that bad. But let's talk about some ghosts, shall we? Many report seeing the spirit of the Lion Country Safari Ranger roaming the park, who was killed by a lion in the park in 1976. With the previously mentioned electrocution incident, the spirits of the two men have been seen around the park, as well as a woman who was allegedly on Flight Commander, who turned to look at the commotion and fell out of her harness and fell to her death at the same time.
holy shit.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Let me take allergy meds before I record podcasts. Yes.
I feel that. That's wild. Like,
Alleged. I couldn't really find anything about it, but they allegedly call it Black Friday.
yeah.
Naturally.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that actually happened, but the other two deaths are very much well spoken of.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But
I don't know.
it's fucking crazy. But apparently the people see her ghost as well. But it doesn't end there. The ghost of a girl in a blue dress has been spotted in the park after hours, as well as a little boy known as Racer Boy, who usually just kind of chills near the racer coaster. The boy's spirit is believed to be attached to the ride from when it came from Coney Island, on which a little boy was found dead on the tracks after falling from the ride.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
And finally, that of Johnny, a.k.a. the ghost of Tower Johnny, a.k.a. the student who fell for his death on the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
Today, he is to blame for electrical issues, and employees call unexplained trip sensors Johnnies,
Oh.
which is cute.
Yeah.
He's just around. He's just hanging out. You know, he's fucking like 18 years old, 17 years old, where he's just like fucking with sensors and shit. So he's just vibing.
Yeah. I mean, he's just pulling pranks at this point.
Yeah, it's just pranks at this point. So, yeah, it's an insane story. I could have done so much more to talk about it. There was so much more. But those are just like kind of the main apparitions and ghosts that we hear about from Kings Island.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's very cool.
It's fascinating. I've never heard of a active haunted amusement park. They also do like how like Knott's Berry Farms does Not Scary Farms.
Yeah.
They do the same thing. And I was like, if they fucking like, I don't know, I didn't really check, but if they kind of lean into that angle a little bit, dude, I bet it kills during Halloween. No pun intended. I bet it does though. Be like, come to like America's most haunted amusement park, and then you're like, oh, it's fucking cool. Oh, it's so cool. You know.
I do want to go to Not Scary Farm.
Yeah, the vocalist of Winds of Plague used to make all that stuff at Not Scary Farm. Pretty cool dude, Johnny Plague. Anyway, after thinking and talking about all this death, I think it's a good time that we stop and get some food. Shall we?
Is it corn dogs?
Well, maybe. They might have corn dogs on the menu, but I don't really know. Let's head to Lebanon, Ohio, to the Golden Lamb Restaurant and Hotel, shall we?
I'm going to assume they don't have corn dogs.
They might.
Probably not.
I'm all sniffly. I'm sorry, guys.
I'm happy.
For over 220 years, the Golden Lamb has entertained and provided lodging for 12 U.S. presidents, astronauts, movie stars, authors, and so much more. This place is fucking pretty cool. Today, the Golden Lamb is Ohio's longest continually operated business, and with such a long and just fucking full past, it's bound to have a few ghosts, right?
Yeah.
It's just it's a cool little spot. I don't remember what the menu was, but I was looking at menus because when I research these places, I look into shit. Like I was looking at like parks passes for like Kings Island.
Yeah.
I'll probably never go to Kings Island.
We could go.
Maybe one day. Maybe
That's what we're doing on our honeymoon. Surprise.
We're going to Ohio?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Not even gonna fight it. Just all right.
I think we should. Let's go and stop the cameras. Let's go and have a talk.
All because I brought up Ohio. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
Wow. What happened with you guys? I said I wanted to go to Ohio, and he just. I get
lost it.
Yeah. He just started saying like Ohio is for lovers, and we're not Hawthorne Heights. Kept saying that over and over.
We are lovers, but it doesn't matter apparently.
Yeah. No. Oh my God. It's all coming together. So the spirit of U.S. Congressman Clement Valling, oh my God, Vala, I'm gonna fucking butcher this. Val Landingham is said to reside here after he allegedly shot himself in the room that now bears his name, and that of Charles Sherman, the Supreme Court justice who died at the inn suddenly at the age of 41. But there is also the spirit of a little girl who roams the building. The spirit is thought to be that of Sarah Stubbs, who lived at the Golden Lamb when she was a child, or that of Eliza Clay, the daughter of politician Henry Clay, who fell ill and died while staying at the establishment.
Oh, damn.
Today, guests to the hotel report the sounds of a little girl's laughter echoing through the halls and the occasional cold spots, otherwise a tamed haunting compared to most. Yes.
Yeah. Fairly
normal. Yeah, I just like to imagine that like the congressman and the other politician were, the Supreme Court justice, like they're just hanging out. They were hanging out in the bar or whatever. And little Eliza or little Sarah comes in like, I got a ball. And you're like, oh, it's fun. And they play a little ball, and then she giggles and she's running down the hall. Meanwhile, somebody down the hall is having the most terrifying night of their fucking life because they're in. And they look out there's nothing, a fucking ball rolls by, like that's what I imagine.
Yeah.
But meanwhile we're like, that's cute. Look at that.
Big cute.
The little ghost kid just hanging out, having a good old time.
I mean, it seems like a fairly standard hotel haunting.
It's yeah.
Like,
not a lot really happening. I mean, I'm sure there is like some stories within the hotel, but I couldn't really find anything that was negative. It was all just kind of like there's some cold spots, and sometimes people get like touched, and then there's like little kids' laughter. It's just kind of a more wholesome story compared to most.
I like going to haunted hotels.
Yeah.
I think they're very interesting.
Other hotels are great.
I also am not that sensitive, so I don't notice like 50% of what's going on.
But I notice it, and believe me, it's fucking scary.
Like when we were at the old Hollywood Hotel.
Oh yeah, and we walked into the front doors and said this place is haunted, like immediately, immediately
I
knew.
was just like, ooh.
Yeah, that place is haunted. and then I just obsessed over our vacation trying to find out whether or not it was haunted.
Yeah, it's definitely haunted.
It's so haunted. I can just feel it. It just has this vibe, has this energy inside that building.
It's an old hotel in Hollywood. Of course it's fucking haunted.
Yeah.
I think that's just a given.
There's the ghost of H.G.K's come all over the walls.
I think when I was looking to book it, I was like, hey, this place looks haunted. You want to stay there? And you were like, yeah, fuck it. Why not?
Yeah, fuck it. Who cares? Why not?
It worked.
And I'm like, how much is it a night?
Actually, it was very cheap. It was like $70-something a night. It was like, sold.
So we now travel to a castle.
Oh.
Yes.
In Ohio?
Yes.
Oh.
A castle located in Cleveland, Ohio. Unless. A place purported to be the most haunted place in all of Ohio.
Oh.
Which is weird that I'm bringing it up now that we're halfway through the story. Right? Doesn't seem kind of weird that I'm talking about the most haunted place immediately? Pretty much immediately, halfway through. Because there's some other places later on that are, I don't know. It seems like this place might not actually be the most haunted place in Ohio.
Oh.
But this place is fucking weird. And this place is one of the places that is on my now bucket list places to visit.
Oh, but when I said let's go to Ohio,
It was a bit. So say this is a comedy podcast, and we do. Don't flick my nips. What are you doing?
I pitched him.
Okay.
There's a difference.
I'm gonna have to talk with HR about this. Bring out the cat real quick. I need to have a quick meeting and find out whether or not that was okay. All right. Anyway, welcome to Franklin Castle. Franklin Castle was the scene for a series of tragedies experienced by the Tiedemann family, who lived in the house until 1895. Built by Hans Tiedemann and in the mid 1800s, their 21-room mansion also features numerous hidden passages.
Oh.
The house was also used as a clubhouse for a Nazi organization and the site for bootlegging during Prohibition. Reports of ghost sightings are also numerous inside of this residence. Babies can be heard crying from within the walls, and a baby skeleton was recovered from inside the building, suspected to be the victim of a bad doctor who held practice in the mansion at one time. Following a dispute among Nazi sympathizers, a group of men were gunned down inside the mansion, and their discussion can be heard to this day.
Ooh.
Nazis are bad, but ghost Nazis
are also
pretty bad.
They're so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, ghost Nazis are also like, they're like, at least they're dead, you know?
Yeah.
So at least there's that.
It's true.
Yeah. The main ghost is said to be of Katie Tiedemann, who is said to have been hung by her father Hans in one of the secret passageways. Her spirit appears as a thin lady in black. I'm gonna sneeze again.
It's me. Hi. I did it right this time. I got this. I'm learning how to use cameras. I'm doing really well. This is great. How you doing over there? You doing good? You're doing good. All right.
I'm going through it. I'm having the craziest allergy attack, and I think it's because the cat was sleeping on my shirt that I just pulled out of the dryer.
Probably. Yeah, he does that where he likes to lay in them.
Yeah, because he was laying on this couch earlier, and this is where I put my shirt. I was like, I'll fold this, and then I forgot. And then I was like, oh, he's laying over there. So he was probably laying on my shirt. I'm allergic to our own cat.
I'm also very allergic to our own cat.
But I love him.
He's a good boy.
Yes.
Kind of.
So her spirit apparently appears as a thin lady in black. 4 other Tiedemann children died in the house, 3 as babies, and a 15-year-old named Emma, who died of diabetes. Tiedemann's wife died of liver disease in the home as well. The owners of the mansion have been subject to the hauntings as well.
It doesn't really seem like they've had a lot of good luck in that house, the Tiedemann family. It seems like they've kind of been having some not so good luck. And then, of course, he hung his own daughter, so that doesn't bode well.
Yes. No, not great. One family reported that their young children wanted to give a treat to a young girl who would not stop crying. And when the parents obliged, they went out to go find this crying child and go check on them, because why is there just a crying child inside of this, Franklin Castle?
Yeah.
And there was nobody there.
She's not there.
She's not there.
That tracks.
Mr. Tiedemann is said to have possessed one former owner, which I find interesting. Has some sort of possession angle to it. The mansion received an extensive burn damage after a vagrant set fire to the portion of the building as well. So it kind of has this weird energy floating about the building.
Yeah.
One very cool thing to note is that Franklin Castle has probably the fucking coolest website I've ever seen. Oh. Most historic places kind of lean out of the haunted angle when it comes to things.
Yeah.
Like they kind of just are like, they're like, founded in 1862, the Franklin Castle is home to the Tiedemann family. And then, like, it's very historical. Yeah. But this place is like, we got a fucking ghost here. Like, they were, like, immediately. Yeah. Like, you get on the page, it's all dark, and, like, there's, like, weird shit popping up. But one thing I find really cool that I've never seen before is that inside Emma Tiedemann's room, there is a live tracking EMF recorder.
Oh, that's neat.
So you can track the level of energy inside the room at any given time.
That's cool.
Which is really, really cool. I've never seen that. And I sat there for probably about 15 minutes just watching it, because it would like die down, and all of a sudden it would like shoot back up.
Ooh.
And then it would like hold and like hit pretty high EMF.
Yeah.
And then it would kind of start to wean a little bit, and then hit back up, and then it would slow back down. Like, it was just like, oh, that's fucking cool, dude. That's neat. Super fascinating, super cool. And that place is now on my bucket list to go, because the Franklin Castle undoubtedly is very haunted.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's an old castle.
Yes. Well,
that just comes in the lease.
Yes. For our next location, we arrive at a bridge, both a physical one and a metaphorical one. Oh. Welcome to Maud Hughes Road, a.k.a. the Screaming Bridge. This is where we come to go scream.
That's what I was thinking. Whereas just you're having a really bad day, you just go out to the bridge and you're like, Spirit did not like that.
Yeah. Located between Princeton and Milken Roads and Liberty Township, the Screaming Bridge is home of several mysterious tales. The bridge spans the main line that has had many names since the 1870s: the Short Line, the Big Four, the New York Line, the New York Central, Contrail, Penn Central, and now Norfolk Southern. No one knows for sure when it was called the Screaming Bridge, but allegedly it was the original bridge was grooved and caused a similar sound to a scream when a vehicle drove across it, which is pretty interesting. But urban legend tells of a more sinister origin to the name. It is said that the scream that is heard is that of someone who has died there. One of the earliest tragedies linked to the bridge goes back to a railroad accident in which two men were scalded to death when a locomotive they were on exploded between Westchester and Gano. However, the accident in Westchester Township, formerly Union Township, the Maud Hughes Bridge in Liberty Township, yet somehow the accident became attributed to this area. Whether or not it occurred over there or it occurred over here is relatively unknown. I mean, they say it happened over there. It's one of those things. But maybe the spirits traveled. Yeah. Who knows? Other tales tell us that the Screaming Bridge name came from one of several possible other events. Stories such as an arguing couple crossing the bridge when a woman was pushed or fell to her death.
Oh.
That's one way to end an argument. Or of another couple breaking down on the bridge. The boyfriend left his girlfriend to go get help. When he later returned, she was found hanging by her neck from the bridge. Pretty spooky, huh?
That is pretty spooky.
That one's pretty spooky. One's like murder, and you're like, oh yeah, I could,
I mean that tracks.
Yeah.
Right. Like a man murdering a woman, that's never been heard of.
It's literally never happened.
No.
I guarantee there's like active murder happening right now.
Probably.
Somewhere out there. Yet another tells of a distraught mother throwing her newborn baby from the bridge. So the screams you hear are of her misery and the horror of what she did. While all these stories told of any number of bridges around the world, there is more. Reports of phantom trains or engineers are on the tracks below, orbs seen flying beneath the bridge, along with the supposed satanic rituals taking place below the bridge as well. Pretty spooky. Still, other variants of the tale say that if you stop on the bridge and flash your headlights 3 times, some form of ghostly activity will occur. I wouldn't recommend driving through, though. The bridge turns sharply at either end, making it impossible for oncoming traffic to see you until they're right on you.
Oh, that's a poor bridge design.
Yes, and that is the case. In 1909, an accident occurred, killing 2 engineers. I got my notes mixed up. Yes, it actually occurred, killing 2 engineers and injured 3 others aboard a train on October 24th. One of the engineers was killed off-duty hitchhiking a ride back home to Middleton when the steam locomotive exploded. This is the story of that. I don't know how I got my notes mixed up here. It had fully loaded with water when it left Ivredale in Cincinnati, but after about 11 miles out, it had a leak and drained most of it, causing the explosion. The accident wasn't the only tragedy along with the track. On June 7th, 1976, at Princeton Road overpass in Liberty Township, a Penn Central employee was killed when 2 rails protruding from the southbound work train penetrated the cab, and they were killed instantly.
Jesus.
Yes.
Overall, not very good.
Overall, not a really cool area. Not a lot of fun stuff happening on this bridge or near this bridge.
Definitely.
So while I can't say that no one had died here, in fact, I'm pretty sure it has had some time, but all these tales surrounding the bridge seem to just be urban legend or error or whatever. But to me, in the end, I feel like some of these stories might have merit.
Yeah.
Something happened on this bridge, and what is it?
Yeah.
Like what is what is causing this ghostly phenomenon on this bridge? Is it the satanic rituals that were taking place? Is it the deaths that are possibly attributed to it? I'm not sure, but one thing I do know for sure is I'm not fucking going on that bridge and flashing my lights 3 times.
No.
Yes,
I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah, I'll skip out on that.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds awful.
We are now going to travel to a relatively known place. Okay? It's not going to be a place that you're probably know off the top of your head, but some listeners, you might know. Located in Athens, Ohio, we arrive at a place of higher education, Ohio University.
I know of
now,
it.
You know of it.
Yeah.
Now, a university. No, I was kidding.
I went to college. You know, I did some things.
Fucking brag about it. Claimed by some to be one of the most haunted places in the world.
Oh.
The world. This university is believed to be haunted by spirits of the former Athens lunatic asylum. After opening in 1874, the asylum quickly became overcrowded and rumors swirled around the treatment of the patients within. In December of 1978, the patient Margaret Schilling went missing. A month later, her body was found by a maintenance worker. It is said that a clear imprint of her hair and dress are visible on the floor where she was found, despite the area being cleaned repeatedly. The asylum is also allegedly haunted by the ghost of the impoverished patients who were buried in anonymous graves in a potter's field. At one point in the field, the graves form a circle, which is said to be the meeting place for witches.
Yeah, that tracks. Everywhere is a meeting place for witches if it's cool.
I mean, yeah, like candle shop, spooky coffee shop, bookstore.
Got anywhere else?
No, that's about it.
PetSmart.
Okay.
Listen, they got familiars. They gotta go to the pet store occasionally.
This is my familiar. He has 3 heads. Now that's 1 dog. Okay. There are.
Just some experience that I heard y'all talking about PetSmart.
Listen, you can come up here, but I need you to. Dad needs to continue his story. Okay. There are a number of different locations on campus that are said to be haunted, including Brown House, where ghostly children can be heard splashing around in the long-gone swimming pool. You're really choking me out there, pup. Maybe Mom can wrangle you. Okay, I'll just hold on to you. That's where we're going to be cuddling up. Jefferson Hall is said to have a marble sound, which happens most often on the top floor of the building. And it is the sound of someone dropping hundreds of marbles on the floor above you.
Weird.
Unexplained, you go up there, there's nothing. Pretty strange.
That's pretty strange.
Washington Hall is believed to have an entirely ghostly girls basketball team lurking inside the building, but mostly in the hallway over the arch that connects the hall with Reed Hall. Another version of the story includes a men's basketball team that haunts the top floor in the attic, which used to be a rec room.
I mean, there could be both a women's and a men's ghost basketball team.
Yeah.
There's nothing saying that they can't.
You think they play each other? You think there's a ghost basketball league?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
But it's good.
I'd watch.
Yeah, I would too. Even if you couldn't see him, just watch the ball. Be like, who scored? Somebody scored.
They're like, I don't know what to put on the scoreboard. I'll be honest.
2.
For which team?
No, just the number 2.
Oh, okay.
We're the winners here.
Oh.
Spectators.
Okay.
Bush Hall is said to have the marble sounds along with a poltergeist who haunts the place by turning the water faucets on and off and messing with the lights. At Shively Hall, a student in the 1970s was said to have participated in cult ceremonies at the nearby Hanning Cemetery. And when she stopped, she experienced a number of eerie things in her dorm room. Stories say that she would have the feelings of being pulled to the northeast back towards the cemetery where the ritual began.
Oh.
It is said that a female student allegedly was doing satanic rituals in room 428, but suddenly and without warning died during the ritual. The room has now been sealed off and no one is allowed inside. But speaking of cemeteries from before, the college is allegedly in the center of a mapped pentagram of the 5 cemeteries that surround the campus.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
Spooky.
Voigt Hall, Perkins Hall, Coulter Hall, Crawford Hall, and Wilson Hall are also among the spots on campus that have paranormal activity. Shadowy apparitions, cold spots, and disembodied voices can be heard and felt here. So, is it from the rituals or the deaths that these spirits linger, or do they just want a higher education in the afterlife?
They might just want a higher education.
I don't know.
Why not? Right?
Mm-hmm.
What else are you going to do with eternity except become a super smart ghost lawyer?
Oh, ghost lawyer. Yeah, man.
Is that your next line of profession?
When I die, yeah.
No, I just meant you could be a lawyer for ghosts.
Your Honor, not guilty by reason of they're invisible and they're not actually in this mortal realm.
You know, I can't argue with that.
Yes.
Meanwhile, the ghost is like, I totally killed them. And we're like, shut the fuck up.
Shut up.
We're now going to head back over to Cincinnati to the now infamous Sedumsville Rectory. Sedumsville is a tiny but spirited community, pun intended, but it's a flyover town. Most people just pass it on the way to their destinations. The booming German Catholic community in Sedumsville led to the founding of the Lady of Perpetual Help Church in 1878. According to a booklet published by the parish for its I'm gonna fucking sneeze again.
Oh, no.
For its
Are we good?
centennial celebrations, yeah. The
Okay.
rectory was built in 1891 to accommodate the growing parish. We're not good. I'm gonna go ahead.
All right, I got this. I don't know what to talk about, but I got this. I'm doing so great. You know, we're just doing, huh, Spirit? You doing good? We doing good.
I like I'm having an allergy attack, and yet the dog's now laying on me. That's good. Keep doing that.
He says he will.
Yes. Our Lady Perpetual Help has sat in Stevensville for over a century and was once the thriving church, the heartbeat of Stevensville, the lifeblood of the people in this small town. With its location right alongside the railroad and river, Stevensville was a hub for the manufacturing until a devastating flood and the widening of the river road. During its heyday, the church was so preposterous, Jesus, that it added a rectory or a house that a church provides for a minister or a priest to live in. Sorry, I said preposterous, but it's not preposterous.
What is it?
Big. I'm going to sneeze again, so I was like...
You're so good. I got you. Do you need me to move?
What I need is to not sneeze on camera. When the church closed its doors in 1989, the building were saved from demolition, continued to be restored to this day. It was during the renovation process that the rectory began to gain national attention for its ghostly activities. In 1995, John Kulsterman purchased the church and rectory from the Archdiocese of Cincinnati with plans to rent out the properties. A man named Chris Kane lived in the rectory from June 2006 to May 2007. He is a lifelong Stevensville resident, and although he states that he never experienced anything strange while living there, he agrees the locals are proud of the ghostly name that the rectory has gained.
Oh, you need me to move it to me? All right. I got this. I'm doing so great. We're just hanging out. We're just girls being girls.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I was doing all fine until I sat down, and then I was like, I should throw on a shirt because I don't want to, go all cool and strong. And then I was like, I just washed that shirt and then I put it on, and I'm like, I'm itchy. It's already too late.
Honestly, it happens. I fully get it because I have that happen all the time. But also, I know that I still feel kind of sick, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a combination of you getting sick and also
great. So, though the ghost seemingly avoided Kane, two of the rectory's former tenants did have experiences while living there. The smell of sulfur that induced headaches was quite common. Oh. It is well known in the ghost hunting community that the smell of sulfur or decay is linked to negative and sometimes demonic hauntings.
Yeah.
That was very common. Cold spots and shadowy apparitions were also common inside the building.
Oh.
Now, why was a church housing some sort of demonic entity? I'm not sure, but it is certainly weird.
I mean, I get it.
I find it very strange.
Yeah, but I mean, also at the same time, I kind of get it.
It's a holy site, yet they're having demonic entities.
Is it a holy site?
Oh shit, dude, Taylor's coming after Catholics again. You're fucked. You're done, buddy. You're done. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, Catholics. Visitors to the rectory have reported scratches appearing on them at random, painful headaches, disembodied voices, apparitions, unexplained growls, and so much more. So much more. My glasses are kind of sideways. There we go. One story comes from a ghost hunter who received a truly mysterious scratch down his back in the form of a cross during his time that he spent at the rectory. Which, that's a fucking sign. Other reports come from previous tenants, including the report of a childlike entity who wanders the home. In my mind, if you're having this demonic attacks and you're having this demonic kind of attachment to this building, I'm going to say that kid probably isn't a kid, and it probably is a black-eyed kid. Now, we did an episode on black-eyed kids.
It's been a minute.
And it's been a minute. It was quite a long time ago. We did it. And if you haven't, go check that out because those stories are fucking scary.
They're so spooky.
Yes. However, when anyone has tried to come in contact with the child spirit, has been known to growl at them and has been known to push and shove them.
Okay, I'm gonna say it's not a child.
No, I tend to I did it when we did our I think I did it when we did our personal ghost stories episode. But I tend to categorize these. I shouldn't say, like, I don't really use the word demonic when it comes to this kind of stuff because that kind of attaches a religious angle to it. I say like negative intent or like negative energies.
Right.
And I kind of classify these into three different levels. So you have your like level 1 being your shadow apparitions that you see, you know, that are more common.
Yeah.
Right. They're a negative entity. They push, they shove, whatever. Your second level of entity, which is the next step higher, is your children-like entity, something that's manifesting as a child to try to gain your trust and try to gain that energy, and they attack you in some sort of way.
Yeah.
And then the third is the Hat Man, the manifestation of like a devil-like entity, stuff like that. That's like the fucking, like the big level.
Yeah.
And I think this is more closer to the second.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, like, also, I'm just gonna say it. He's not doing a very good job of luring people in. If people are like, "Hey, child," and he's like,
well, well,
he's not doing great.
Well, they said allegedly they live off of fear.
Yeah.
So if you're doing that, and you're scaring the fuck out of people.
Yeah, but like I feel like if you were trying to get somewhere, you'd like lure them in more, get them all nice and comfortable, before you're just like,
this isn't a fucking Chris Hansen sting, you know?
lure them in.
Do you like to play Roblox? I like to play Roblox. Do you like to play?
No.
I'm a 14-year-old girl. Like, lure them in a little bit, right? Like,
why don't you take a seat right over there? Chris Hansen comes out and goes, "You here to meet a 14-year-old ghost girl? Is that it? Is that what you're here to meet?" It's like,
I don't even know what's happening right now, man. Honestly, I'll be honest.
honestly, I'm fucking terrified.
I said hi. I got growled at, so
Yeah.
I was gonna go home. I'll be honest.
Yeah, while there is no history of children dying on the property, it's believed that malevolent entities can portray themselves as something innocent to lure their victims in. I literally have it in my notes. Beat myself to my own notes.
Wow.
Yeah, look at that. I read sometimes. But in this particular story, in the particular case, that's what I think it is. I think it's something trying to manifest and trying to fucking lure people in and be like, I don't know where my mommy is. And you're like, "Oh, little guy, where's your mommy?" And they're like, and like they just grab onto you and they're like, and then you're like, that's not very nice.
I'm gonna take a guess. You're not a child.
I'm going to go on a limb here and say that you're not actually real.
This is pretty wild, but
There are more places in Cincinnati that are just as haunted. And so with that, we travel to another location unlike anything that we've covered before.
oh, again.
Again,
Okay.
a Subway.
Oh,
The Subway Cincinnati, not a restaurant, is now long since abandoned and closed to the public. But I can assure you that it is very much still active.
oh.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
I'm still thinking about a Subway store
Yeah.
being
This doesn't look like tuna.
I assure you it's tuna. It came from this weird bag. It's more of a
I don't
paste.
know.
The sounds of disembodied voices and the sounds of something or someone walking around in the darkness is common, as well as the occasional sight of a black shadowy figure creeping out of the corner of your eye. That's about it. But otherwise, it's fucking creepy. A lot of urban explorers go into there,
Ooh.
but it's literally just an abandoned Subway.
Oh,
It's underneath the old Cincinnati.
that tracks.
Yeah, it's very, very weird.
Honestly, I will bet that a lot of Subways are haunted.
Okay, why? Go ahead.
I mean, okay. So, not the restaurant, of course, but like the Subway, like trains and everything. Just because of the like sheer amount of people who like commit suicide in front of trains, especially. Like New York has a vast train system, right? Vast subway system. But they've also had a lot of people go in front of trains, or even unintentionally. I mean, it's happened here, even with our Max trains, is like an unintentional death. And I feel like there's gotta be something sticking around. I don't know if you've ever thought about that, but
I honestly I've never thought about that. But that's a very good thing. I have a friend who lives in New York, and I might have to hit him up and maybe see if he can find me some ghost people out around New York City.
I would love to go to New York.
I would just want to ask and get in contact with these guys. Maybe see if we can find out anything about that. But that's enough of the Cincinnati subway tunnels. So let's travel to a different type of tunnel, shall we?
Okay.
Shall we? Located in MacArthur, Ohio, the Moonville Tunnel is fucking creepy.
Oh?
That's even after I researched everything on this list. This place just like wigs me out. I don't know what it is. I think it's just tunnels freak me out.
Yeah.
Like it's subterranean, you're underground, it's pitch black. And then they're like, there's a demon that lives here and likes to fucking rip off your penis. And you're like, no.
Something I don't want to be. like
I'm here to catch the
Shanghai
train.
tunnels.
Huh?
Like the Shanghai tunnels. It's a dark,
That
creepy,
that
you're like,
that is different for me.
How?
It is technically a tunnel, but
and
it's not
dark and it's creepy.
Okay.
And it's haunted.
But I have been down in the Shanghai Tunnel so many times that I feel more accustomed to there than I would be like going into an abandoned subway tunnel.
Yeah.
That like, because the Shanghai tunnels, that's all dug by hand, and it's I mean I'm sure the other place is dug out, but like something about it is just different because I know that like all I got to do is open this hatch, and I'm out.
Yeah.
I can just leave.
Right.
But like a fucking subway tunnel, it's like you're one way in, one way out.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
What if I told you I've still never been to the Shanghai tunnels?
Then we're gonna have to go. Just about a 30-minute drive from the Jesus Christ. 30-minute drive in the wild woods of Vinton County lies the abandoned Moonville Tunnel. The tunnel was part of a railroad that was constructed in 1856 to transport coal to the southeastern Ohio. Jesus Christ. The town of Moonville was populated almost entirely by coal miners who worked at the nearby Hope Furnace. The iron furnace, rumored to be haunted as well, was used to make weapons during the Civil War. Sadly, in the early 1900s, modern advances in coal mining had made the town all but obsolete. Now taken over by the elements, Moonville no longer exists, and the railway tracks have been almost entirely removed. But you can still visit the old Moonville Cemetery, and of course, the tunnel. That is, as long as you're not afraid of ghosts.
I'm not. I'll fight a ghost. I'm not afraid. No, definitely not.
You're not afraid of ghosts. Is that because you're ignorant and you're reckless? Because I used to be not afraid of ghosts. And you know what happened? You know what happened when I wasn't afraid of ghosts?
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw a 10-foot tall fucking shadow demon with red eyes. With my own 2 fucking eyes.
I'm not afraid
and guess
of
what?
ghosts.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not afraid of ghosts. Ow, spirit, don't kick me. I have a healthy respect for ghosts.
And that's exactly what you should have.
I mean, like they don't terrify me, like to the point where I'm like,
yeah.
oh my god, but like I got a healthy respect for them.
That's
right?
exactly what you should have.
Like, I've fucked around a few times, like before we were together. I found out I don't do that no more.
Yeah, you as someone who has been in the paranormal field for over a decade, which is it's fucked up. It's fucked up to say. I started really looking into stuff when I was around, I would say, 14 years old.
Yeah.
I'm 28 now. Maybe if you're old. I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
And guess what? I don't do that shit anymore. I don't do ghost bro shit.
Yeah.
Like, come out and fight me, ghosts. Like, for example, you watch the evolution of Ghost Adventures.
Yeah.
It's a perfect example of it. Zach Bagans going in there and he's like, come out and fight me. Go ahead and fight me. Go ahead and come out here and fight me. Go and grab onto me. And you notice that he got fucked up by some sort of entity during the Demon House documentary. And guess who doesn't do that anymore? Zach Bagans.
Yeah.
He learned his lesson.
He did.
I've learned my lesson. You've learned your lesson.
Everyone learns their lesson, eventually.
Yeah.
And it just takes that one time, and then you're like, okay, I think I'm done.
I'm going to go and pause for a second, and I'm going to have a heart-to-heart with everyone that's listening to this and watching this. I've been ghost hunting for well over a decade, and there is one thing that I have to say to you, that if you're interested in the paranormal field, say you're interested in this stuff and you love this stuff and you want to get into it, contact a team in your area, go out with them, and experience it in a positive way.
Yeah.
Do not do it in the most dumb fucking way possible of doing it by yourself or with a Ouija board or trying to conjure something, because guess what's going to happen? You're going to get fucked up. It happens. It happens to a lot of people. And some people, they're never the same ever again.
Yeah.
I have known people that have gone out and had some really fantastic experiences, and I've known people who have gone out and had some really terrible experiences with stuff. And guess what? They don't even want to even think about it anymore.
Yeah.
So coming from the HGO team directly to you, for the love of God, stay the fuck away from Ouija boards and do it in a more positive way. If these people, if what you're talking to is a person of, and is a spirit of a person, just treat them like another person that you're just meeting today.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
I've never fucked around with a Ouija board. I knew that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. I mean, I've done some dumb shit. I learned from the dumb shit. I don't do dumb shit no more.
Yes. I had to take that quick little tangent and just say that real quick. I love ghost stuff. I love investigating, but sometimes you just got to know your limit and got to know when it's time to go and take a break.
Yeah.
Back off.
For sure.
Anyways,
According
to local legend, the ghost the ghost is that of a railway worker who was crushed by an oncoming train in the spring of 1859. Newspaper article from MacArthur Democrat dated March 31st, 1859 reads, "A brakesman was fatally injured when the wheels passing over and grinded to a shapeless mass the greater part of one of his legs."
Oh.
Yes. Most who claim to be sighted, most have claimed sighted. Jesus Christ, I can't even talk right now. The most have claimed, let me back it up. The most who claim to have sighted the ghost of the Moonville Terry say that he carries a lantern and is sometimes seen as a hovering orb of light. At least four other people were reported to have been killed at Moonville Tunnel as well, although details vary. Some legends claim that Moonville was struck by a plague and quarantine, and that the ghosts are of those killed by the epidemic. Others state that the woman is... others say that... Jesus Christ. I can't even talk. I'm a little foggy right now. Others state that the ghost is that of a pregnant woman who was struck by a train, and still others claim that it was an 8-foot tall man who was struck. However, none of these legends are quite as popular as that of the railway worker who was struck and killed and is now seen within the tunnel to this day.
Hmm.
Yes.
Also an 8-foot tall man?
Yes.
Tall man.
It's a tall guy. It's like
I'm
that.
gonna go and say he's just a tall little guy.
It's like that basketball player who was super, super tall and lanky, and I can't remember his name for the life of me. Ironic. But he is now the one of the creatures from Alien.
Yeah, in the new movie.
Yeah. No spoilers. Just came out. As for our final location, we head to a town closer to hell than the rest of the world, not because it's in Ohio, but because it's called Helltown, Ohio.
Yeah.
Also because it's in Ohio.
It's not got a lot working for it.
Listen, not great. Helltown, its name perfectly fits as legend. It is also known for murderous Satanists and toxic chemical spills. A weekend's road trip away, nestled in the Cuyahoga Valley in Pennsylvania's neighboring state, Ohio, sits an eerie, desolate place locals regard as Helltown. No people live in the area, living ones at least, but there are still remnants of the lives of former residents left behind. The whole town is surrounded by hazardous roads that seemingly lead to nowhere, and locals believe this was done to confuse any wandering explorers. But the Helltown Church seems to have inspired the town's ominous name. The tiny white church is located in the center of Helltown and is central to all local theories. Some say the church was a place of worship for practicing Satanists who lurk around the closed-off roads, hoping to recruit, if I can say it correctly, unwelcome visitors. Others believe the town was evacuated after a chemical spill that resulted in bizarre mutations of the residents and animal population. The legend of the Peninsula Python stems from this theory.
Oh.
Yes.
Interesting.
But I'm not talking about the Peninsula Python. That's a cryptid episode for one.
Yeah.
Come on, ghost right now. There even sits an abandoned school bus with the legends of its own. The bus was carrying a group of high school students that was headed to one of this local ski resorts near the small town of Boston Township. An elderly woman flagged down the bus and in a panic explained that there was a young boy in her house who was seriously injured. The bus driver, attempting to help, turned down her driveway and drove into the woods, hoping to revive the boy. When the bus approached the home, it was clear that it was just a trap to lure breathing souls to the depths by sacrifice.
Oh.
Yes. According to the legend, a group of Satanists swarmed the full bus and murdered all the riders aboard. The bus rotted in the woods for over 30 years, standing as a stark warning to all those who dare to venture into Helltown. Helltown is home to 6 or 7 separate legends, which has led to this area in Boston Township, Ohio, to be grouped as one large haunted site. The overgrowth creates a dark, almost cursed place where ghosts, cultists, and Satanists, and even a wild-eyed serial killer are said to lurk. Helltown is the nickname given to the northern part of Summit County. The areas most associated with the legends are Boston Township and Boston Village, and portions of Sagamore Hills. First settled back in 1806, Boston stands as the oldest village in Summit County. The construction of Ohio and the Erie Canal brought loads of people to the region in the mid-1820s. The area began flourishing when a railroad station was constructed in the town. The station was named Boston Mills, and the name stuck. Excuse me.
Yeah, I got you. I'm just here. I'm just spitballing, and I'm just killing time while you deal with your allergy.
Yeah, I'm just having a hard time.
I get you.
Let's get back into it. For a century, little change in the small, unassuming village. However, in the late 1960s, a nationwide movement was gaining traction that expressed concern over the destruction of our forests and called for more national park land. In 1974, President Gerald Ford signed legislation that enabled the National Park Service to purchase land and use it to create national parks and reservations. As a result of this legislation, on December 27, 1974, hundreds of acres in Ohio, including the land within Boston Township, were officially designated as National Recreation Area. Many who supported the movement did not realize that this legislation allowed the federal government to buy homes and lands right out from the under of current owners with no warning. Once it was decided to buy a plot of land, no negotiation was allowed. The owners were forced to relocate. In what can be only described as a mass evacuation, hundreds of residents began leaving, and the Cuyahoga Valley National Park swallowed entire townships. Townships, plural. These events were so tragic that they were featured in the 1983 PBS documentary For the Good of All. The feelings were summed up in a statement left painted on one of the home's walls. Quote, "Now we know how the Native Americans felt."
Oh.
Which is fucking intense.
Yeah. No, for sure. Absolutely. This whole fucking episode has been fucking intense. You know, it's just like a lot of stuff, more than I would expect for Ohio.
This is like, I could, every like most haunted states episode, I can go back and do like 2 or 3 more.
Yeah.
Like of each, and I probably will at some point.
Yeah.
But like, there is so much more. However, the saddest part of the story is that the area was never actually converted into a park for all to enjoy. It now sits quietly, totally abandoned.
Oh.
With residents leaving ages ago for basically no reason. Fucking pull your land out from under you. Bye.
Yeah. Well.
And then they just don't do anything with it.
That's stupid.
Yes, it's very dumb. It's American government. God bless. Loads of legends come out of the Boston Cemetery, which sits deep in the middle of the area known as Helltown. One tale involves a ghost who sits on a bench and stares out into space, forlorn, waiting for his family to return for him. There are 2 roads through Helltown, both labeled as dead ends, even though you can watch them continue in the distance. Legend says that local satanic cults put these signs up to keep people out of their secret hideouts. Stanford Road, one of the main roads in Helltown, is sometimes referred as the end of the world or highway to hell. Some stories indicate that the road is evil. It is known to take possession of your vehicle, causing fatal accidents.
Oh shit.
Yeah. That's a unique one. I haven't heard that before.
No.
One rumor persists through the ages that the town's residents were evacuated due to a large chemical spill, and the national park was just a cover-up. The chemical spills were said to have caused mutations in local children and even create the peninsula python, a gigantic snake that slithers around the area.
Oh.
These are some first-hand accounts from Helltown. And I'm going to go ahead and read them.
Yeah.
Anonymous, but very, very chilling.
Okay.
Quote, I've experienced much in my explorations of there, some of which I don't care to remember, and some which I never hope to explain. Helltown is not truly abandoned. It does have residents, but they are strange and a frightening breed. I have gone exploring the woods and cemetery in the area in the late night and wee morning hours, and have returned to my car to find strange people looking into the car windows. This happened twice. Once at 2 a.m. and once at 4:30 a.m. Both times the people fled soon as they saw me approaching the car before I had a chance to speak with them. Both times they were all dressed in black. Part of me is glad that I didn't have to converse with them, because I have heard too many tales about the ways of Helltown's residents. Supposedly, they're all Satanists and worship the town's 2 evil churches. I have been to both these churches, however, not inside of them. One, the Mother of Sorrows, has an upside-down crosses hanging from it. I have also been to the Boston Cemetery, where a ghost has been seen sitting on the bench. This cemetery is a dark This cemetery is as dark a place as it been. The graves date back to the early 1800s. I didn't see ghosts when I visited, but I did hear strange growls and howls from the depths of the graveyard.
Oh.
This was more than enough to convince me to leave, as the prospects of getting attacked by some strange boneyard-dwelling beast was not appealing, to say the least.
That makes sense. Now, isn't it... Technically, upside down crosses are not automatically like inherently satanic.
That is correct.
Because it's I can't remember who exactly, but he didn't want to be crucified the same way as Christ, so he had them turn the cross down, like, and it's like St. Peter's or something like that.
Yeah, it's something along those lines.
Okay.
But it is
very weird.
It is very weird.
I'm not doubting that. That sounds fucking spooky as hell.
It's very spooky.
It's just the way I was raised. I'm like, hold on a minute. Am I correct?
You are correct.
Okay.
If you're hankering for a spooky road trip, then Helltown in northeastern Ohio should be on the top of your list. Helltown remains one of Ohio's most spooky legends. Hundreds of locals traverse the area searching for truth in the scores of the myths. It is one of those local spots to visit in the dark autumn night when there is just the right amount of chill in the air. Nowadays, Helltown isn't as creepy as it once was. The area is now part of the Chaidez Valley National Recreation Area, and many of the abandoned structures have been demolished. The cemetery and its ghosts remain, however, and only they are left to tell the tale of Helltown, Ohio's toxic ghost town.
Oh, it's very interesting. I think I'll skip it.
I'd visit.
I don't like the idea of people coming up and like being there. You know?
Yeah.
If it was a truly like deserted ghost town, you know, it's like a little different. But when they're like, it's a ghost town, and then you got people like there.
Yeah, they'd be like hanging out and be like, got $1? Yeah. It's pretty. Huh?
I said, am I in Portland?
It's pretty strange to
Yeah.
say the least. Now, what do you think is the most haunted place in Ohio after going through all that? Do you think it's the Franklin Castle? Do you think it's Helltown? Do you think it's the amusement park?
I think it might be the amusement park.
I think it's the amusement park.
Personally.
I think Franklin Castle is the most haunted residence in Ohio, but I think the most cursed place is the amusement park.
Yeah. I'll agree with that.
There is clearly something happening there, though I don't know what.
Yeah. No, there's definitely something.
And the fucking college, the university has also got some weird shit going on. I don't really know what's going on.
They do got some weird shit.
I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys can tell us. Tell us in a comment or send us a message or whatever. What do you guys think that is? What do you think is the most haunted part of Ohio? I mean, I didn't even get to like Sandusky. Yeah, I didn't really deep dive into like Sandusky or like Cincinnati and stuff like that. I didn't really like deep dive into those places.
Yeah.
I was just hitting some big ticket items. If I, just some stuff that was like, that's pretty weird.
Yeah.
That's pretty weird.
Really weird.
That's really weird. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode of Haunts, Graves, and Omens. You can follow us on HGOPodcast at gmail.com, HGOPodcast on TikTok. I put some TikToks up. Go check that out. You can send us some hate mail or some love mail or your ghost story or your alien story or your cryptid story or your true crime story, whatever. HGOPodcast at gmail.com. And you can follow me directly on Instagram at IHuntTheHaunted.
I'm sorry.
Follow me on Instagram at IHuntTheHaunted. And sometimes I'm on Twitch. I'm out there sometimes. I'm going to try to get back into it. Pass it off today.
Hi, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Lunar Thrill. I'm trying to post more. I'm struggling. I never know what to post. You can also follow our dog at Spirit the Turf.
Spirit the Turf.
Also on Instagram. Otherwise, yeah, that's it. That's all we got.
Well, did you have fun today?
I did.
Exploring Ohio's most haunted?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very fun. I always love doing most haunted episodes. I just think they're fun.
They are fun.
Next week it's gonna be interesting for a podcast because possibly going out of town. We'll see what happens with that. You're definitely going out of town.
I'm definitely going out of town.
So I'm definitely gonna have a guest with me, and he'll probably be with me, and he'll probably be sitting in Taylor's spot. A guest who's been on the podcast before, but never on camera.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So that'll be interesting.
True.
And then it'll probably be like the Doc takeover episode where we talk about farts. But that's kind of how it be sometimes.
I mean, that's what happens when you and Charles get together too.
Yeah, it's a lot of like GBS and fart jokes. But
GBS, what is GBS? Gay boy shit? What is that? I don't know. What is it?
go watch the doc. Go check those episodes out.
Am I right? Am I wrong?
Remember to stay spooky
Stay haunted.
and stay the fuck away from Ouija boards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.